Hey guys, what's up? This is Ry123 here, and today I am back with another Roblox scripting tutorial. This will be part 2 of the Minigames tutorial. Now, I will get this out of the way first because this might upset a few people, but we will not be finishing the Minigames script in this video. This will be the first part, and there will be a second part that comes out tomorrow to finish the script. I just felt like if we went through the whole script in one video like we did last time, that would be a huge information dump. Too much for one video. And so I just wanted to split it up for you guys so we could have a little bit of more understanding before we moved on to the next concept. So anyways, today all we're going to be working on is getting the basic outline of the script, and next time we will be working on actually teleporting the players, giving them tools, and working with the actual mini games. In this video we will just be getting the structure for our script and having it choose games and setting it all up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up a GUI, kind of like I have. Just put it into the starter GUI for the players over here, and just call the screen GUI message. Here, let me pull up the Explorer and make it a little bigger so I can show you this. So right click on starter GUI, go down to insert object like always, and insert a screen GUI. Then rename it to message, and right click on that, go to insert object and insert a text label. Then name your text label text. Next, what you're going to do is go in and modify it so that it looks like mine. It's at the top of the screen. It doesn't take up too much space, but it takes up enough. Then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, edit the text so it says something generic like mine, like welcome to my place, welcome to mini games, or whatever you want it to say. Just something generic that new players, so it's not just like label when they enter the game. So just name it something that wouldn't look absolutely ridiculous if you were to join into the game. Next thing, just go ahead and click this little checkbox next to text scaled and make sure that it's text or checked. Otherwise your text will be tiny, and you can edit the font size, but then it won't look right if it's a longer text. So just check the text scale. Then what this does is it makes it so that the font will always be the correct size to fit inside the background of the GUI. So whether we have like a paragraph or whether we have like one word, it will always be big enough and it will look nice. So after you get your GUI set up, we are going to go ahead and actually jump into the script. Now I have two scripts. I was just using my old one for reference from the old video. So let's get rid of that, and today we are going to be looking at the minigame script 9001.0. I was trying to poorly make a joke at the over 9,000 thing, but anyways, go ahead, name it whatever you want, just like minigame script or manager or whatever, and go ahead and double click on it to get into the script. Now I went ahead and I actually made the font a little bigger just so it would be easier to see. I know I like big fonts on videos, especially if I'm like looking at them on my phone. I'm actually would like to make these a little more mobile friendly, because right now, I don't know about you guys, I couldn't see anything I do on my phone. I'd have to watch my videos on a computer, which can be kind of inconvenient, because I feel like if I have it this big, you should be able to have it up on your phone and then type on your computer. But this script will be in the description. I'm trying that again where we post the script in the description. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your while, wait, do. And what this does is it just makes sure that it loops it, but the wait just makes sure that it doesn't break and it has time to wait for the players to join. And then you hit enter and it will put in this end here, just down at the bottom. Next thing what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add this line right here that gets the players and puts them into an array. So it's just game.players get children and store that in a variable. And I went ahead and I commented all the sections just to make this script easier, because as you saw, this is a big script. And so I wanted to post something in the description that you guys would be able to use. And so I hope that this makes sense. Now, this line right here is part of the script, and this is if you want there to be a certain amount of players to be able to start your game. So let's say you have your mini games and you want there to be at least 4 players to start. You would uncomment this out by deleting these two, and then you would scroll down to the bottom, and right above this last end you would put in another end, just so that it doesn't mess up. So make sure you add that end. I better not get a lot of comments saying like, oh, it doesn't work when I uncommented out this thing, but when I commented it works fine. Make sure you put the end down here if you uncomment out this line. But otherwise, if you don't care how many players are in your game, just go ahead and delete it or leave it green. Next, we are going to have the welcome messages. To do this, we actually have to change the message for every player. So what it does is it gets our array of players and it does a for loop. So we set peep equal to 1 $ players. Then it goes through and it gets their GUI from the players, player GUI, wait for child message.text. So that just gets that GUI we created, and then it says GUI.text equals whatever you want your kind of welcome message to be. And just so you know, when you are creating your welcome messages, this is like the start of the game. Like we have our here's how long it is till the next game down here. This will be like, alright, we're about to choose a game, get ready for it. So don't worry, that'll come later. So then the next message I have here after a 5-second wait is a choosing minigame message, and then another 5-second wait. These 5-second waits are just to give people enough time to read the message. You can change it to 4 or 3 or whatever you feel is fair, because not everybody can read insanely fast. I feel 3 to 5 is probably the best range. If you go over 5, it's probably too long. If you go under 3, it's probably too short. Now, this next section from here to here is where we actually pick the game. As you can see, I've labeled it. And this first line we have is setting the random seed. And basically what this is doing is it is making our randomness more random, because Roblox randomness isn't entirely this is going to be a lot of the use of random, the word random, but Roblox randomness initially, like if you just do math.random, it's not 100% random. So what we do is we set the random seed and it makes it more random. So you don't have to understand this line, just make sure it's in there. It will basically make it so that your game is extra random, so that you don't get the same game over and over again, or you don't get the same order of games every time you play. Now, then we will get the actual number for the game, and I called mine mini. And we do a math.random between 1 and 1 because I only have one game set up right now. But what you do is you change this second number to the total amount of mini games you have, as you can see right here. So let's say I had 5 different mini games. This would read local mini equals math.random 1, 5. So make sure that is the case. And then we just have another, oops, that's not very, dang it. That's not very lined up. There we go. And then we have another message that pops up and it just says which game number was chosen. You don't have to have this, but I like to have it. So in our case, this will always say 1, but of course as you add more mini games, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just so people can like get to know the games, like, oh, game number 5, that's go-kart racing. I love that one. But anyways, now we get into more the meat. So as you can see here, I say this if statement will be copied for each game. That's not entirely true. What you should copy is the else if. And I will show you how to do that in a minute. But first we are just going to break this apart. So I say for if mini equals 1. So this is if the random generation comes up as 1. So our first mini game. We will create a new message. Basically from here to here, this is what you're gonna want to type out for every single message, just so it shows up to every player. And in this one, I like to include like the game name or the maker or whatever you want. So for example, I have like Sword Fight made by Ryan. And then the next message I have is the game description. So like kill each other with swords. Try to be the last one standing, or whatever you want. Then the third one I like to do is the game length, like this game lasts 2 minutes, just so people kind of get an idea what the game is going to be about. Of course, you can have as many messages and whatever you want to say here as you want. And then we will go ahead in the next tutorial and learn how to set up the game, load it in a workspace, teleport the players, give them the tools they need. We'll do all that in the next tutorial, which you should look for tomorrow. But like I said, this is a lot of info dump. I want to make sure we can get this script down before we start moving into some more complicated stuff with placing stuff, places, and everything. So hopefully we can get a grasp on this first. Now this section right here is it's the countdown until the game is over. So it's another for loop, and you change this second number right here to be the length of the game in seconds. I have a note right there just in case you forget. But like, so if your game is a minute long, this will be a 60. My game is 2 minutes long, so it's 120. And for 3 minutes, I don't know, what's 3 minutes? Like 180. And so yeah, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to change mine to 10, just because I need to show you guys how the script works, and if we have to wait 2 minutes, that's gonna be kind of a pain. So yep. And then we will create the message that counts down until the game is over. It will do this for all the players, so it's kind of, you have a for loop inside of a for loop. So this means that it goes through every player every time. Every player every time this number counts up. And then one other thing, you're going to want to change this number right here, this one before the minus sign, so that it is equal to the number up here, because this is the number for the countdown. So you're just going to want to make sure you do that, and then obviously wait 1 second in between each second. And then this is where we will tomorrow have the code to remove the game, teleport the players back to the lobby, award the winners, etc. Well, actually we'd award the winners more down here. Now, and then after that, that is the end of the first minigame. Now, if we wanted to make a second minigame, we would type else if mini equals 2 then, and then I have my game 2 here, and then end. So obviously, I would copy and paste all of this up underneath this if statement. I would copy all of this and paste it right here. Now if I wanted to make a third mini game, I would take all of that, I would copy it, and then I would paste it underneath. And then I would delete this end, and I would add it to the bottom. Because when you use else ifs, the ends actually stack at the bottom. I hope that makes sense. It didn't to me at first. Like, it took me forever to figure out how to use an else if, but every time you write else if, you're gonna have to put another end down at the bottom. So here's for the first if for mini game 1, here's for the second else if, here's for the third else if. So as you can see, now after all this, after it goes through whichever mini game, now it's gonna give us the game over. And like I said, this is where we would actually award the remaining players points and stuff. But instead, we right now are just making this message that says game over, thanks for playing. And then we wait 5 seconds and it says you have 1 minute until the start of the next game. And then similarly to the time remaining in the mini game, we have another loop that states how many seconds are left until the start of the next game. So like I said, I will post all this in the description and you guys will be able to copy this. Hopefully I've made the comments intuitive enough so that you can change what needs to be changed, and hopefully this video will guide with that. And then tomorrow we will be working on the actual implementing of the mini games, the tools, the teleporting players to the mini game and back to the lobby and awarding points, etc. But that, like I said, is a subject for a whole nother video. So to wrap this video up, I'm just going to play test it, show you that it works. Remember, this will choose minigame 1 because we only have it generating a random number between 1 and 1, which is 1. So obviously we get game number 1. It says sword fight made by Ryan. I'm gonna put this away so we can see this. And try to be the last one standing. Game length, this game lasts 2 minutes, but actually it lasts 10 seconds. And then it counts down for us. Okay, and then once the game is over, it says game over, thanks for playing. Then it will say you have 1 minute until the start of the next game. And then it will start to count down, and then it will start all over again. So that's pretty much it for this script. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, which I understand there probably will be a lot for this one, please don't hesitate to ask me about it in the script. In the comments down below. Please don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe so you can see the second but really third part of this tutorial tomorrow. And I hope you all have a very nice day, and I will see you later. Goodbye.